Rolls-Royce cars to Bentleys, Mercedes and Land Rovers, why settle for one brand when you can choose all of them, right? I am very excited to spend the next couple of hours at one of the world's top car collectors, Yohan Poonawalla's garage, to check out all of his iconic and exotic cars and also chat with him about his love affair with all of these cars. Mr. Poonawalla, Zayan, thank you so much for talking to us on CNBC TV 18. Firstly, you have a gorgeous collection of cars, rare vintage cars as well, and great sports cars. Tell me, how did this love affair start and what really piqued your interest?
Well, I've always loved cars since I was a child. I've grown up around cars and horses, and the family used to have some lovely old cars. So I've grown up around those cars, but those cars have long gone.
Right.
What you'll see here today is a collection that I've built up from scratch myself.
And Zayan, you are interested in cars as well, right? So what do you think of the collection that your father has built over so many years?
It's good.
You think it's good? What fascinates you the most in the collection that he has? You know, he's known for his Rolls-Royce collections and Ferraris. Which do you prefer?
The vintage cars.
The vintage cars? Why? I would assume you would like the fast sports cars. What is it about vintage cars that you like so much?
How they look.
From all these collections that you have, what is that one car that stands out?
That's a trick question, I think, because you are asking me to choose between my children. But maybe there's one special car that I can talk about here. This is my 1949 Maharaja Mysore's Mark VI. This particular car that I actually first ventured out of India and took to international shows.
Right.
And it is this car that actually put India on the international map in terms of India getting really recognized as a vintage car hub.
So you own the most enviable collection of Rolls-Royce cars. What really draws you to this particular brand?
I don't know, just as a child I was fascinated with Rolls-Royce and Ferrari. And I then built upon that fascination, and I've now really built up this collection of Rolls-Royce and Ferraris as well.
So is there one particular one that really stands out for you?
Another special car which is not here is the Nizam of Hyderabad's Bentley 4.25 litre 1939 car. It's also a one-off. It's called the MR series, and it's called the concealed boat body.
We have to talk about your Ferraris, and I believe it's one Ferrari per person in your family.
Yeah, I want to multiply it by 2, so it will be 2 per family member.
Oh, is it? So how do you go about choosing your Ferraris?
Well, actually these 2 models, Ferrari models, are by invitation only.
Right.
So I first got this Aperta, only 499 made in the world and only 1 in India.
Wow.
Then your profile starts building up.
up.
Then the Pista Spider is also a very special car. I loved the Pista when it came out. I liked the S scoop design and the styling very much. And my son says this is the most special Ferrari of the lot here. So this is my car. That's a Portofino. It's a very nice, easy-going, more comfortable Ferrari. So Michelle likes that car. All these 3 cars were personalized by Ferrari for me. You can see the P logos.
The name, right? Yeah.
On the buttress, as they call this part.
Yeah.
And on the seat headrest.
Right.
And Ferrari will do this only for very special clients. And that's the F12 Berlinetta, is my daughter's car. Most of these are mid-engine V8s.
Yeah.
And that's a big V12 engine. So something special for her also.
If I were to tell you that you can pick only one car for the rest of your life, which one would you pick?
Like I always say, it depends on the day. Am I looking for a sports car drive or a vintage car drive or a luxury ride in one of these. That's a very special E-Type Jaguar.
Yeah.
And Enzo Ferrari called the E-Type Jaguar the most beautiful car in the world.
It is a very beautiful car.
So I have a pair of these E-Types. One's here and one has gone for the millimeter.
The red one. I've seen
yeah.
that as well, yeah, in other shows.
This is a Flying Spur Speed.
Yeah.
W12 now. As you must be aware, Bentley has discontinued the beautiful 12-cylinder engines, which is quite a shame for a petrol head.
Yeah.
Now they've scaled down to hybrid V8s. This is a recent acquisition, about 7-8 months back. So it's the last of the, it's not only a W12, but it's the speed version of the car in this beautiful Dragon Red 2
Yes.
color. This is a Bentley Bentayga. It's a centenary edition made for 100 years of Bentley's anniversary
Yeah.
in this special orange flame color. And I was very lucky to get my hands on this because the regular Bond edition, they made 300 of them.
Right.
200 4 doors and 100 2 doors. But this particular car is a one-of one.
Okay.
So it adds to my one-of-one collection. Amongst all my Maharaja cars,
Yeah.
this is a Maharani's car.
Yeah.
So this belonged to Maharani Gayatri Devi.
Right.
And she used to actually famously drive it around Jaipur in the old days. And as you can see, it's finished in the famous Jaipur State Blue colors. This is a Cadillac El Dorado, also a very special car. And the entire rear part of the car is jet aircraft inspired.
Yeah.
So they've taken the back from jet aircraft design, and it's really special.
Is this the paint scheme that it came with, or you chose?
This car was one of the very few rare cars that was already restored.
Oh.
Yeah, so I saw at a show
Yeah.
this car and this very rare BMW Isetta 300 belonged to the same person at a show.
Okay.
So post the show, I approached him and asked him
Yeah.
whether he would be willing to part with the two.
You've kept these cars in great condition, but I do assume that maintaining them is a big challenge. How involved are you in the restoration process?
Yeah, it is definitely a big challenge. It's not like you can stroll into a dealership
Yeah.
for any of these older cars.
Right.
So you have to source these parts from different countries. If it's Rolls-Royce and Bentley, it's from UK. If it's an American car, it's from America. And of course, it's getting more and more difficult as these cars are getting older and rarer. And to answer your second question, I'm extremely involved. I look at every nut and bolt. So, for example, when this car was being restored, it's restored exactly to its original spec,
Right.
as was ordered by the Maharaja when brand new. You can obtain the bill sheets from the Rolls-Royce Club in
Right.
the UK, which tells you the color combination, the interior, coat of arms, the flag mass, etc.
Right.
So all of that with Rolls-Royce and Bentley, it's much easier because the records and history are very well maintained.
How do you end up balancing your love for cars and the investment that goes into maintaining these collections?
Well, earlier on, I think no one looked at cars as an investment. It was
Yeah.
just a hobby and a passion.
Yeah.
But now that investment element has creeped in. But basically, I don't look at my cars as an investment. It's only passion. It's the passion behind a brand or a particular car, etc. But along the line, the cars are also appreciating in value, which is a plus point now.
Okay. And what are some of the biggest challenges that you face in sourcing rare vintage cars?
It's become very difficult in India. Even more difficult as now people have become more aware
Yeah.
and have started retaining their cars as opposed to selling them.
You've also won several prestigious awards all across the world as well, and the latest being the one in Spain for your Rolls-Royce 17EX.
Yeah.
What is that one award that you deem the most prestigious that you've already won, and what are you looking most forward to? Is there one particular trophy that you're eyeing?
Well, first of all, 17EX is a very special car. She is a 1928 prototype experimental that Henry Royce designed himself. And the idea behind it was to beat Bentley at Le Mans, to actually achieve 100 mile an hour. You can imagine in 1928 in a Rolls-Royce.
Yeah.
So it's got a bigger engine and a special gearbox that the other Rolls-Royce 1928 cars and the similar models didn't have. I won two very special awards with this car this year. The first one was in Malta in Valletta.
Right.
So 17EX won Best in Show at that event,
Yeah.
followed by Best in Show at Icons Mallorca. So two back-to-back Best in Shows, and these were very emotional and historic because no other Indian has won a Best in Show award
Right.
outside of the country.
So is there something more that you're looking forward to? Are there any more prestigious awards that you're looking forward to?
I would like to visit Pebble Beach someday, but I want to do it correctly and precisely. So I have to choose the right car and the right time.
You've also had a fabulous 2023. Why don't you tell us more about that?
Yes, it indeed was. The year started off with me being inducted as the first and only car collector from India in the top 100 car collectors, classic car collectors of the world. That was quickly followed up with the Vintage and Classic Car Club of India, awarding me with India's motoring ambassador to the world. Soon after that, I had sent a car to Villa d'Este at Lake Como. Another Maharaja of Mysore's Rolls-Royce, which is not here today, where she won Best Restored Car in the entire show. After that, I was declared as the Car Ambassador of the Year by HMA, which is the Historic Motoring Awards, which is equivalent to the Oscars in the motoring world.
Yeah.
After that, I was awarded as Collector of the Year 2023 by the Geneva International Motor Show in Qatar.
Right.
And I ended off the year in December by a very successful drive at the Mille Miglia.
I'm sure you're checking out a lot of cars, so what are you eyeing next?
Yeah, exactly. Not one particular car, but one collector must have a old 300 SL Gullwing. I have one of the new ones. So maybe that's on the list. From the newer cars, new Bugatti, maybe a one-off special car.
Okay.
Maybe the Ferrari SP2 Monza.
Thank you so much for your time and showing us this beautiful garage, and good luck with the museum and acquiring new cars in the future as well.
My
Thank you so
pleasure.
much.
Thank you.